Hey everyone, Dillion, Team PPG, FOE here. Bringing you another deck profile. This is a leader that in a recent video I said was a good anti-meta call. So I'm going to give you another best of one list. That's kind of just, if you like anti-meta, you like just kind of putting stuff that counters other decks, this is probably the list for you. So if you don't already know, Gotenks, when this leader attacks, you can take a life, draw cards to Self Awakens, which is nice. The reason why we're playing them is for his once per turn. If your opponent has one or more energy, when your opponent activates an extra card, you draw a card. So that's on both players' turns. So this is really good against Mecha Frieza, King Cold, decks that play a lot of extra cards. When they play one, you draw. Pretty much every deck plays some extra cards. Some decks play more than others. So we're really trying to punish those decks that play a ton of extra cards. He has another effect on the backside that when you Union Fusion, but we're never going to Union Fusion, so that one's kind of irrelevant. But when he flips, he has the same thing. When your opponent activates the extra card, you draw one card, and then you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch to rest mode, so it gets an additional effect. So if they play an extra card offensively, you can rest one of their battle cards. So this has good matchups against King Cold, Mecha, kind of Invoker if you can play it aggro enough. And then it's just kind of decent against all the other decks. You're going to see this looks very similar to what Blue-Yellow Mecha is playing, but it's a little different because, again, I said this is an anti-meta deck. So the first card we're playing is the Vegeta Unison of Fury. One matchup that's really strong in the meta that's going to kind of annoy us is Dark Brawly, and this also helps against Aggro Sin, so we're going to pay 2. It's really in here for the -1 effect. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards greater cost than their energy until the end of your next turn. So Dark Brawly's going to play all the 6-drops. They can't swing with them. And it does have a kill shot ability. You can choose one of your energy, switch it to rest mode, gets plus 5k, double strike, dual attack. So if people forget about it, it sits on board for a while. You rest something, you give it the -, put another Unison under it, tap their energy, and then go for the kill. This one is just to give us some board clear. If we play a deck that really goes wide, we got to be able to clear the boards. Dual attack 20k, which lets us swing into battle cards. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode. If that has an energy cost of 4 or less, negate its skills and KO it. That's really good. One, because we can negate skills on certain things, and then it just gives us a free KO. It's +0, so we don't get any markers, but it's still good. The -3, draw one card, choose all your opponent's battle cards, rest mode, and KO them. This is going to give us a really good ability against decks that go wide. Koitsukai, again, this is a best of one anti-meta deck, and Koitsukai is very good against some decks that spam out cards. Specifically, King Piccolo. It's pretty good against Mecha. So in any best of one anti-meta list, I think this has to be in there. Same with Dark Power, Black Mass Sand, really good against King Piccolo, the Jax. King Piccolo has ways to deal with it, but if they don't see him immediately, they start going super neg in turns 1 and 2 if they don't top deck their answer off turn 1. They're going to have to play him in best of one, and if they don't play their answer's main deck, this card will really punish them. Sensubi, just in case we're playing against decks that go wide, also we want to untap energy. Tap 1 blue, untap 2 energy, get plus 5k for the duration of the turn. Basil is a 2-of, just because, one, it's a cantrip that can become an attacker. If your opponent has 5 more cards in rest mode, gets plus 15,000 power dual attack. This card's not really anti-meta, it's just a good value 1-drop. Final Flash, I feel like you have to have this, at least one of the most yellow lists. Activate battle if your leader card is yellow. Choose one of your leader cards or battle cards, gets plus 15 power, and then if all your energy is yellow, when you activate this, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, negate skills. So this is really good, especially when your opponent goes in for game. They can't ever go in on a double strike, triple strike battle card because you can just negate the skills. You do have to be careful. All your energy has to be yellow. So basically, you just can't charge Beam, this, or one of your black cards. If you charge anything else, it'll be fine. Power of the Super Saiyan, it's a negate, but we mainly use it for the other effect. If you have one or more mono yellow energy in active mode, activate battle, you can draw a card and then tap one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards. It's just free effect that draws a card. Anything that's free is good. So we're going to play that. We're going to play this Monster Super Combo, especially because we're playing Poutine and Power of the Super Saiyan. So it's 10k, always live. And when you combo it from your hand, you choose your opponent's leader cards or battle cards, switch to rest mode. Best of one, we don't know what we're going to see. If there's something super aggro, it might be able to run us over, and this card helps us slow that down. Beer's Fickle God, it gives us a blue-yellow to pitch for this, and it also gives us the ability, when we have blue-yellow in our energy, it ignores energy exhaust. So it gives us the ability to charge blue-yellow and make Bean live. Because we will be running a decent amount of 10k combos, so we want to have that ability. One Kai, this just, if you can fit a one of in a deck, you should. Gives you the ability to kill when your opponent's not expecting it. When you combo this card, choose up to one of your attacking cards against double strike. I feel like any list you can fit this as a one of, you probably should. Freeze Army Reinforcements. I feel like these cards should be in most decks. If our life is 5 or less, we can negate an attack for free and then play a Freeze Army token, and it gains blocker to the end of the turn. So essentially it can stop 2 attacks for 0 energy cost, which again, anything that costs 0 is typically good. Poutine, if you leave your cards yellow, when we switch one of our opponent's cards to rest mode, play this card for free, has barrier, and once per turn when your opponent plays a battle card using a skill or activates a counter skill, so they negate, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards to switch to rest mode. People forget about the counter effect a lot, so just make sure you remember if your opponent activates a counter, like when you swing, you can still rest one of the battle cards. It's very relevant to have a blocker up. Frost Deadly Poison, this one's not seeing a lot of play, but for best of one, I like it. We can pitch it for the Bojack effect, it's blue-yellow. But it also has the effect that the battle card your opponent's played is played in rest mode, skills negated for the duration of the turn, draw a card, then if your life is 3 or less, you can untap a blue or yellow energy. So this is really relevant. Best of one, we're going to probably see a lot of like 10-drop foos and things, or 8-drop Dark Banisher foos coming out, because people are just going to try to kill you with those big overwhelms and hope you don't have an answer for it, because a lot of decks don't have an answer for those cards. But fortunately we do. So a lot of times if they tap out for 10-drop foo and we deadly poison it, negate the skills, draw a card, untap an energy, we probably win the game at that point. So deadly poison is a real big counter to a lot of finishers, and it gives us a pitch for Bojack. 3 coolers. Anybody who's tested with me knows I love this card. We could see a lot of counter decks, especially like Blue Baby. And I love always being able to counter. They're my favorite type of cards in the game. I love counters. So we play a 3 of. Son Goku and Hit. This is another blue-yellow pitch for Bojack. And it's also just a very valuable card. It rivals for 1 blue, so we do have to charge one of our other blue-yellows first. But when it arrivals, activate battle once per turn. If your leader card is blue or yellow, switch this card to active mode. So it can block. It can be a dual attack swinger. It can swing once and then on your opponent's turn restand. However you want to do it, it's a very good value card. The only thing you do have to watch out is that it's 1 blue. So you do have to charge one of these first, one of these multicolors, which is normally fine, unless you're going against super aggro that can maybe punish you and kill you. But most matchups, you can throw a blue-yellow down first and be tapped out on turn 1 just fine. We're playing 3 Bardock Raiders Warcry. This is part of why we're running the Sensu Bean and the Bojack. If your leader card is yellow, you tap 2 for a combo. You play this card as double strike, tap one of your opponent's battle cards, and draw a card. Very valuable. Kind of risky because the 2 cost is why we're not playing 4. But 3, especially with Bojack and Bean, feels very good. You can maybe even bump it up to 4. 1 Bardock fighting against face just gives us an overwhelm. We want to play at least 1 overwhelm in the deck. By the time we get to the turn when we're going to need this, we should have 6 and drop. It's a 25k dual attack for free. Anytime you're going to fill up your drop, you should fit in at least 1 overwhelm if you can do it. Violent Rush Bojack arrives for 1 yellow, so this one's easier to arrive on the play. And when it activates Aegis, you draw a card. So you pitch a blue-yellow card from your hand, untap 2, draw 1. So that's where we can take advantage of the 8, the Goku Hit arrival. Final Flash, that's why we need Sensu Beam for this. And it's going to make it very hard for our opponent to kill us once we have this, because essentially as long as we have a blue-yellow, we're never tapped out. And the SCR of choice is Kai, just because it's generically good. Every deck can be punished if you stop their leader in unison swing. It's a 40k beat stick for 1. And if you pay 1, you can work your opponent's battle cards in unisons, which most decks play battle cards in unisons. So, best of 1, kind of anti-meta deck. Now, am I saying this is the best deck in the meta? Definitely not. But if you play this in one of these best of one regionals coming up and you play this list, you might be pretty happy with the way it just kind of plays against the field. It's just a Swiss Army knife of a deck where you kind of just have answers for most things you're going to see. There's very few decks that are going to surprise you, and you're going to have nothing for them. And then it takes what I think is probably the most consistent deck in the meta, which is Mecha Frieza, and it gives them a really annoying match against you because every time they're playing their extra cards, you're drawing a card on both turns. So lets you just keep up with their hand advantage and potentially sometimes beat their hand advantage. So yeah, if you like the deck, if you want to ask more questions about it, want to see anything in the other videos, let me know. Follow Team Foe PPG if you like videos like this, and follow our content.